Welcome back to Exactly What I'm Saying. In today's episode, I get to talk to a very knowledgeable bartender, DJ, and the head chef at Lucky Cat Kitchen that specializes in cooking up tasty dance events. I'd like to introduce you all to my friend, Simon Banks.
My bad, my bad.
No, you're totally good.
No, I won't
just like
beep
to be a brat.
No, I got you,
I
man.
just like to be a brat.
You're like,
Um,
no, ain't no shit.
But yeah, I think when it comes to the scheduling too, I'm trying to just okay, cool. Are you available in a couple of days? And hope for the best.
Yeah, man.
And
No,
it's
it's
happened so quick and so like
dude, it was kind of perfect timing, honestly. So what was it? In January? Yeah, January. I left Copper and Kings, and it's like, man, I need to take a break for a bit. So I've got, yeah, like a shit ton of free time right now.
wait. So what were you doing for Copper and Kings?
Yeah, I was their like bar manager.
Oh.
Which, yeah, you know,
Oh.
yeah, I had
so
that
you took
that
over
title.
when Lisa left.
Yeah, I guess when Lisa left, Whit took over,
Yes.
and then
I actually know Whit.
yeah, and then they let Whit go, and they asked me to move into that position, and it just wasn't, it just wasn't right, man. So I left.
They were doing what it sounded like, and I don't even have very many details, but it sounded like they were just like kind of being sketchy towards everybody. Like Whit, I know, was just kind of very taken aback when it all happened, and I haven't really. He was just basically told they're going in a different direction, and he had just gotten promoted and was like so excited and was like, "What do you mean you're going in a different direction? Like, you asked me to take this direction with you.
Yep.
And now you're switching, but this is where I, just kind of sketchy. It's weird stuff.
Yeah.
But so you're not at Meta anymore.
No. I haven't been at Meta since the Monday after Derby last year. That's when I left Meta.
I kind of had suspicion, but I wasn't sure. And congrats, I'm also taking a break right now. We were kind of discussing that, and we were discussing just bars in general, and business owners, and that to the ratio, good business owners to the ratio of good managers. And
yeah.
it's stressful, man, and
it is, dude. Yeah, man. It just, I keep coming back to this. Yeah, back to the point, or like back to the place rather, of like, man, I just really would love my own spot.
Dude, I was going to ask.
Yeah.
I want to start my own spot so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. And it's like, it's a combination. What really holds me back is, well, one, money. Like, I do feel confident in, if I really put my mind to it, I think I could find investors. I could find money and make it happen, but then that's also like, oh shit, now I gotta do something good with that money.
Exactly, right.
I gotta make sure I have to now do my part.
Exactly, right. Now you're putting you're really putting your name and reputation on the line at that point, right? When you're like, when others are graining you.
Dude, I've been on mute this whole time.
Shit, bring it back.
I bet I was heard. I bet I was heard some.
Yeah. I mean, pick up from this mic?
I think I was being picked up from that mic a little bit.
Okay.
Because I still heard myself a tad when I had the headphones on, and I was like, not that big of a deal. That's like actually maybe better if we're both being picked up from a little bit on both mics.
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know.
No.
In this case, I'm just going to have the faith. If not, I'll rip the audio from that and be like, sorry for my, second of bad audio quality. This is all a learning adventure for me. I started this like on a whim, kind of.
Fuck yeah, Zach.
And it like happened quick. And I've wanted to start a podcast for a long time, but never really knew what to do. And then I was like listening to some interview podcasts, like trying to get inspiration. And when they bring on not famous people, I was like, those are the most enjoyable episodes to me. The people that you don't know who they are, but they're still really kind of cool and like do cool stuff. And I feel like you get a transparency and honesty from not famous people that you don't get. Not that the famous people aren't being themselves, but I do think they have a publicist that's making sure they bring up certain things and making sure they don't talk about other things. Like
that's a really good point. And definitely, some high level celebrities too. Like they definitely wear more of a mask than,
for sure.
Than
and
a lot of people do.
I get that, but also I see it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And not even saying the mask that they're wearing is hiding a bad person. No. It's just still not transparent. Yeah. It's
maybe it's just not their public image, like.
And no disrespect really, but also just, I don't know. I got a lot of friends that do cool stuff.
Fuck yeah, man.
Like you, and I'm so happy you're here.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to be here, dude. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah. But yeah, like we were saying, like the thoughts on starting a bar.
Yeah.
The money, now I have to perform. Like I have to do good things with that cash.
Exactly.
And it's just kind of like scary, and like the thought of doing it alone, and like I don't know. It's just like, and then who do you take on? Like, who do you partner with? And it's
exactly right. How much influence do they have?
And then,
right? Are they a silent investor? Is that what you're looking for? Are you looking for somebody?
I want only silent investors.
So you want to be the creative entity, right?
Or it's like if they become unsilent, it's because I see that they have value in other ways besides just money, and I think like we're aligned with what our vision is. But even that's sticky because if they're the money and a part of the creative, then they might be like, well, it's my money. You know what I mean? And like take over in certain areas where it's like, that's not what this is. And it's like, I could even still be down for conversation, but, it's a conversation. It's not like a dictatorship.
Right. No, I feel you.
It's scary.
Yeah. It is. Some like basic numbers that I've kind of crunched is you're looking about, it depends on, obviously the quality of the gear that you're going to bring into your bar. But as far as like, your ice machine, if you have multiple ice machines, right? If you want pebble ice, do you want big cubes, so that's literally a whole conversation there. You're going to need a couple of low boys. You're going to need, at least one, like, whether or not it's a glass door, but like
a fridge.
At least one big sliding glass door, fucking display fridge, right? So all of these things, they start to add up, and, we've only just hit that. We haven't hit bar tools. We haven't hit a 3-compartment sink. We haven't hit
the alcohol itself.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I mean, way before the alcohol. And like the alcohol is a little bit easier to approach than, because if you're a new bar opening up, it's not to say that distributors are in like a pissing match with each other, but like they want to be your brand new bar. They want to be on your shelves, right?
Yeah.
They want you to push product, right? And I mean, fuck, it's your business. That's what your business is. You push product. And I think a lot of bar owners don't realize like how strong of a connection having with your reps is, man. And having a good relationship with your distributors as well. Like that can make or break a place.
Building that reputation. Yeah, because they'll fight to get you stuff, and they'll drop you off that case at Friday at 8 p.m. when you didn't text them until 6. because they're doing you a solid, but you're doing them the solid of using a lot of their stuff. You got a ticket that's big, and you're not an asshole.
Exactly.
You're building a network and a relationship with them that is work related, but it also is like in harmony with each other.
Exactly.
You know? Like,
symbiotic.
Yeah, it's symbiotic.
Yeah, dude.
Yes, symbiotic. Yeah, no. What kind of place do you want to open?
Dude, I've got a couple of different concepts, but not all of them, but like the main one is basically just kind of like a club concept, honestly.
Yeah, I know, and we're gonna get into this a little bit more later, but like I know you were kind of trying to do something like that with Meta,
with
and
the second floor,
and you've been throwing these events, which again we'll talk more about that later. But I was wondering if you were going, because you've got that like background, but then also the craft cocktails. Especially once I really started diving in, and I was already like, I've always thought I was a good bartender, but like I'm good at like managing high volume while doing what I do know well. You know what I mean? And like customer relations and just like handling the volume. And I made good drinks, but when we met, you were at the time that I decided to take that like step up in my like cocktail knowledge and just game and just like really just like the recipes that I've got on lock in my head that I can riff off of or just serve as the classic.
Yeah, man.
And like pull it out at any time. But you would come in, I don't know if you remember this, but you would come in and I'd be like, dude, I'm so happy you came here. You got a Mai Tai in your pocket? You know what I mean? Man. You got a Mai Tai in your back pocket? And then like you would talk to me, tell me the specs, we'd make it. And, learn something new. And I always thought that was super cool. And so, I didn't know if you were going to go cocktail route or club.
And, like one of the concepts is a cocktail bar. One of the concepts is a, like small club atmosphere.
Yeah.
And then this other concept, which would be really hard to pull off for a first one.
For sure.
Is the really cool one. But I haven't figured out how to per se like do the important like trademark or whatever, like stuff.
Do you not want to say the concept?
No.
Respect.
Yeah,
I get that actually. I was like
to say that I think that like I have per se unique or original ideas, like I'm not trying to say like, oh, I've got the hot shit in my head that like nobody's done before, but like,
I've actually
for a Louisville market, these concepts would work. And
I've actually got a concept. I'll totally tell you later, but I've got a concept as well that like I wouldn't want to quite say because really this goes the ultimate thing with my concepts are all that like my vision, like I will make it dope no matter what. If I have like a small cocktail lounge, it's going to be dope because I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of like my concept, like delicious cocktails, chill vibes, and me behind the bar making them. Like, and like I do have like a lot of, even if it's not just me, behind the bar, but like those three things are true. And like, that is a concept that like I think would work really well. Honestly, like just creating a cool space, tasty drinks, not being a douche.
Yeah.
And like not taking myself too seriously, but also like making some really fire stuff.
Yeah.
And then I've got another concept that's like essentially that, but with a really fun and different twist that I think would be cool. I'll totally tell you about it later because I'm curious to know your opinion.
Absolutely. Dude, and I'll talk about my
we don't have to get too deep or anything, but no, for sure. But that's sick, dude. Where would you want to do it in Louisville?
Right. that's another thing too, is that these concepts would work better in certain areas.
Totally.
Yeah, like the cocktail bar concept would be great, like downtown or like Lower Frankfurt Avenue.
Sure.
Or even possibly, oh fucking, what part of town is that?
I think Old Louisville would be. It's like so untapped, and there's so many people.
Man, Louisville's a weird, interesting.
It is
area though, just the way it's zoned.
Totally.
Yeah, it's wild. So because it's like, you've got Old Louisville itself, right, and then to the west, just west of Old Louisville, you've got Limerick. And Limerick's not a historical neighborhood, so that's why literally that's why oh my god, Old Louisville Brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're technically in Limerick, because if they were just a block over, they'd be in Old Louisville, and I don't think they allow zoning for brewery or breweries. Like they don't allow for a certain level of commercial business or whatever.
Dude.
And then another thing about Old Louisville is that pretty much the only place you can open up a business in Old Louisville is on the corner.
Oh.
That's the only zoning that's zoned for business.
That's so
much.
Interesting
There's
too, because
but
there's a couple of exceptions that I can think of that exist now, but the majority of businesses that I'm picturing are all on corners. Like you said that, and I was like, you're right. And no, that's super interesting. Dude, you know what spot's up for sale is the old Forage building. Forage was a plant shop. I don't know if it's still for sale. It might have been bought. But it was a plant shop on the bottom, dude.
Where was that at?
Let me see if I can find it. If I can find it quick.
Yeah, Old Louisville, like, dude, a spot, an atmosphere or a feel like the Merriweather, would kill an Old Louisville.
Dude, it would absolutely kill. I also think that exactly, just like Merriweather, it's mostly a dive bar, but they do fun cocktail stuff, and like they are. I love Merriweather. Shout out because the bartenders like all have like a lot of cocktail knowledge. Like they're very knowledgeable bartenders. They're friendly. They're great, but they also have that dive bar. Like you're not paying $15. I hate paying $15 for a cocktail, dude. Yeah, it genuinely upsets me. But I also agree that something like that would crush an old Louisville. I also think that something a little bit like something not as big. I think like a small, like cozy place that it's not uppity, but it's like you can get like a tasty drink in a fairly chill environment, and then bounce and not spend $1 million like would be great. So it is
like Butchertown would be great for a spot that's sat like 20-25. Like a real small intimate cocktail bar would be perfect for
even like max like 50. I think like if you could like squeeze 50 in with all the chairs and like a couple people standing, I think that's fairly, because most of the time you're not going to hit max capacity most of the time.
That's true.
People are going to come in, they don't see a seat, they leave. But I think that having the ability to have more people, but also just being the type of vibe that just doesn't get too crazy, I think would be cool. Just go have a tasty drink, don't go broke over it, and bounce. I think would be dope. I literally just found the address right before I hit back. 1217 South 4th Street. Oh, dude, I got this right now, dude. I'm going to Zillow. And we're getting this. It is a cool building, and it has like living quarters above it.
So it's a C2.
Yes, I think
C2
so.
zoning, yeah. C1 is commercial only. C2 is commercial residential.
Of course, dude.
Yeah,
It does
dude.
not want me to do this. This is the first time I've ever tried like looking something up for real during the episode too. And I'm like, I thought it would go smooth. Ugh. Oh well. Are you from Louisville?
Yeah, I was born here. And then early. Oh yeah,
Dude,
this spot, dude.
this building is so cool.
Legit.
Yeah, it is gorgeous. We can look at those better in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're born here?
Yeah, I was born here. And then, God, when I was young, my parents moved to Colorado. And then when I was about 7, my mom moved me and her back here.
Cool.
So, yeah.
What part of Colorado?
Ridgeway, like super southwest corner. It's down by like Durango and Telluride, and
It's kind of like deserty, high desert.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Dude, it was badass, man.
I've got a friend down that way. So I think he's more central, but like directly south of Denver, I think. Okay. But I knew that was high desert. But do you don't have family there still?
No, not anymore.
Yeah, so you don't really visit.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, moved out to Denver like 2014 to 17.
Oh.
But yeah, other than that, yeah.
What were you doing out there?
Dude, just fucking wanted to move out there. It seemed like a fun thing to do at the time.
Yeah. Sick. So, were you bartending there?
Yeah, bartending, DJing. Got into bar management when I lived in Denver.
Yeah.
So my last couple of jobs I was managing while I was there. Yeah, Denver was cool, man.
When you manage, are you active on the floor bartending as well, or are you?
It depends on the state and like the way that's set up, right? For instance, like in Kentucky, managers are not allowed to take tips unless they are the only person
correct
in that pool at that time. So yeah, man, like as a manager, yeah, I mean, dude, when I schedule myself, of course, with, when I need to work a busy shift or whatever, I'm not taking tips, like
totally. If you hop on to help, that's manager stuff.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And if, and then on top of that too, like, yeah, exactly. You're there to help, right? So if I need to make drinks, I'll make drinks. I'd rather not. I'd rather just clear the floor and bus. You know what I mean? And put out fires if I have to, which is fucking rare.
But there's also like there's also like the loophole too, and that's something that if you weren't there, because you're not there during every Saturday shift for the whole shift, I imagine.
Right.
So like the bartenders put out fires all the time without the manager there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's something that you're putting out a fire because you're there, but it's not because you're the manager. It's because someone has to do it.
Exactly. Like in my head as a manager, I would rather work the slowest shifts of the week by myself, because you're getting the salary, or if you're not getting a salary, hopefully you're getting a fucking high hourly.
Right.
But I feel like that's a red flag. If somebody wants you to be a bar manager for an hourly, that's I don't know. That's kind of, they kind of want to take advantage of you, or they're not viewing you truly in a manager position. They're viewing you more as like a lead bartender or head bartender, which is fine, but that's not what, like if they're calling you a you know what I mean? Like there's these,
and there'll be stuff like, right? You stop at Restaurant Depot on the way in, and then get to work, and then you can clock in. So like, I mean, I guess you can edit the time, but then like, it's just like a weird, and then like, what amount do I get paid from the moment I left my house?
Right.
Do I get paid, salary, like, also, are you going to call me sometimes when I'm not at work and ask me questions?
Yeah, dude, exactly. And
that's a boundary that's crossed regularly.
All the time, man. All the time. And like not, and I've had so many calls and text messages when I've been working hourly when I've not been in management positions, you know,
Totally.
getting hit up by other managers or whatever, or being in those per se management positions for an hourly, where it's like, dude, it is 11 p.m. Like, this
And
is
I'm
not,
off.
yeah, this is, I mean, yeah, I will respond, you know, but
If I see it.
dude, that's a little insensitive, you know?
Yeah, but I could be,
Like-
you know, 3 cocktails deep right now and a couple of bowls.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm also not trying to, you know, I'm not getting wasted at work because I'm working, but now I'm working and I'm wasted, but I'm not at work.
Right.
You know, it's just
Yeah.
kind of like, leave me alone. It's my off time.
Yeah.
And like, obviously, I feel like there's exceptions to everything, but sometimes it's just kind of like, you
9
really
times out of
didn't need
10,
to call me.
Exactly. 9 times out of 10, that could have waited until the next day,
Totally.
or honestly, a lot until the next time I was working. you know?
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
But you know, as a manager, I'd rather take on the slowest shifts of the week, right, and then give the busiest shifts to my competent bartenders that can fucking kick ass.
Keep them happy.
Yeah.
Let them make the money shifts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the way it should be as well. And if you're getting a good enough salary, I would low key prefer that.
Yeah.
Working slow you know, there's like a balance, right?
Yeah.
Also, I never complain about being busy so that I can appreciate the slow. Because a bartender that complains about being busy also complains about it being slow, and then it's just always complaining about the level of business. And it's like, so do you want to make money or do you not want to make money? What do you want?
Right.
Is it to be a bartender? Do you want to be a bartender, or do you like not? Because it kind of seems like you just don't like it. But I enjoy like the slow. It bums me out whenever it's a busy shift and those regulars that I really like come in, and I don't get to talk to them.
Yeah.
I don't get to talk to
Yeah.
them. I don't get to like make that connection. And oftentimes they are so understanding and chill and will still tip you great that they get put on the back burners while I'm taking care of the rest. Like,
Yeah, and
there's obviously
and they're
there's
watching you
other
killing
benefits
shit,
that'll
and
happen
you're
for
like,
them too. But yeah. You know, maybe you slide them a shot because you're like, thank you for not getting served in 20 minutes. You know?
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah, hook up
but
for the homies. Like,
yeah,
it's gonna be a minute. Like,
yeah.
But like, I love you.
But that's the only thing. Like, that's what I like about the slow shifts is you can make like good connections with people and like really get to know people. And that was kind of another thing that inspired me to do this podcast. Is not only do I feel like I know a lot of people doing really cool stuff, I was constantly just meeting really interesting people doing cool stuff. So I'm like, dang, who are all of you awesome people? We gotta, like, people need to know about awesome people like that.
Fuck yeah, man.
You know? And we all live in the same city. What? You know, the thought of managing and then working the slow shifts is kind of nice. You know, it sounds chill.
Yeah.
Make connections, you build regulars, I'm sure.
Exactly. You know, you have all the time, or you know, I mean, the goal is, you want to be busy, right? That's the goal.
Of course.
You know, and the slowest shifts doesn't necessarily mean that you're not busy, right? But like,
totally,
you're giving the gold to your bartenders, which is why they're there. They're there to fucking rock it and make money, you know?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, exactly. Like we don't. Yeah. If you're going to be there anyway, it's better to make as much as possible. Yeah. No,
exactly.
Respect.
Yeah,
how long have you been bartending?
Dude, I started bartending. It was like 2010 for Magbar.
How old are you?
I'll be 38 this year.
Okay,
38
cool.
in April.
Yeah, my guest last night was 38. How old do you think I am?
Well, earlier you told me you're a 92 baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
So
man.
I'm 33. My birthday is in August.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Be 34, man.
Yeah,
Fuck
dude, I'll
yeah,
be
dude.
34 this year.
Mm.
When's your birthday? Or
It's-
just the month or whatever?
No, it's April 28th.
April 28th. Oh, so coming up soon.
Coming up soon.
What's your sign?
Taurus.
Taurus?
Taurus is fuck, man. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, rising sign is Taurus, and then my moon is Virgo. So,
Sick.
yeah, triple Earth.
I'm
for my
a
big three.
Leo. Leo is my main. And then I'm like a Pisces moon, I think.
Okay.
And like a Libra rising, I think. Maybe
Fuck yeah,
Virgo.
man.
I can't quite remember. I could check my co-star, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, man.
Do you use co-star? Do you know what I'm talking about?
When I had a smartphone, I did. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I saw this meme a while ago, but it was like a text between like mom and son. It was the son was texting the mom, and he was like, "What time was I born?" And then she just responded like, "Stay away from that girl, Johnny."
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
I was like, that is so funny. While I get it, I also had that same exact. I texted my mom, "What time was I born?" So you started bartending.
Yeah.
16 years ago at Magbar.
At Magbar.
Wild.
Yeah. Started out just like picking up day shifts when they needed help. Because I started working for Magbar, like doing sound work and like guest DJing, and then I was helping like book shows and for them, and then really started to pick up like bartending shifts, and then
Very
it was
cool.
and then I was bartending for them.
Very cool.
I got into craft bartending when I moved to Denver. In 2014. So that's when that shit started.
So you've been doing like the cocktail focus 12 years.
Yeah. And of course, those first fucking, dear God, those first 2 years of getting into craft cocktails was wild. Like, there's a lot of shit going on. It's a lot to take in when you first get into it.
It is. And I kind of had like well, I started at Against the Grain, and I got lucky. Word. I got really lucky because we were a brewery, but they had just started like cocktails. I don't feel like were very popular in Louisville at the time, because this would have been like 11 years ago, maybe 12. But cocktails weren't really that big, but we had a bunch of like super knowledgeable and like women behind the bar that were like really diving into y'all know who you are, diving into that world. And I don't really know how it got started, if it was them pushing for it or if they just filled the need for it, but wrote some badass menus, and we did that alongside of the beer. And that, while it wasn't as, and it's funny because like now I like want to make people cocktails, and then it was like, I can serve this beer in like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Paid transaction complete. And this cocktail is going to be a second, and I'm probably going to get the same tip. $1, whatever.
Yeah.
And like, that's okay. It is what it is. But like at the time, while I didn't ever mind to make them, there were times whenever I was busy, I was like, of course you ordered that right now. You know what I mean? And now I was, brand new bartending, and, but I got good at like the making it and the high volume behind it, but like not the curation of cocktails.
Yeah, man, that was my first moment that I really realized that, like, shit, dude, I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing. It's like, I feel like exactly like dive bar bartenders, or when you start bartending, like at not a cocktail bar, right? So even if there's cocktails on the menu, like a margarita, there's a million different margarita recipes out there, right?
Oh yeah.
But right, so in your early days of bartending, you're told to put this, and this, and that, and shake it, or don't shake it, or stir it, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then put this garnish on it and sell it, but nobody, yeah, exactly, right? Like nobody is teaching you why these ingredients are in here, right?
Totally. And like you might even be like skipping lessons, like if there's citrus you shake it, if there's not you stir it. It's just shake the margarita.
Right, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like why do you shake?
Yeah.
Why do you shake certain cocktails? Why do you stir certain cocktails? Why do you build certain cocktails in glass? Like
right.
Why exactly, right? All of these fundamentals and these basics, like very few establishments educate in that kind of way. And I got to a place that I got, like a beginning of that flavor ad in Denver, and that was this martini bar called There.
Ooh.
And like, dude, those guys fucking put me through it, dude.
Was it like classic martinis, or were y'all doing like?
It was all like open pour. It was more of a flair martini bar. Like,
sounds kind of fun,
dude. Man,
sounds like a racket, but kind of fun,
dude. I respect flair bartenders, but like, it's just not my thing, man.
Me
like,
neither.
And and the owners of this place, they saw it, but it was a new restaurant. They knew I fucking hustled and all of this shit. But these guys completely broke me of what I thought I knew. I thought I was a bartender. I mean, yeah, I was a dive bartender, but I didn't understand bartending at that level at all.
Dude.
So they had to break me, and they broke me in a really cruel and fucking mean way. And I walked out. That was the first spot I ever walked out on, man. I was like, fuck these dudes, dude. It just got to a point, and I couldn't deal with like their bullshit, man. I'm like, I'm trying, dude.
Were they mean? Were they like?
They were horrible.
They were like, what is wrong
Tyler,
with you?
Yeah, Tyler wasn't as bad as Oren, but Oren was a fucking monster, dude.
What do you mean you can't do the double flip, toss up, spin around yet?
I mean, it wasn't that kind of shit, but it was just, they just knew that I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. So instead of like sitting me down or having, documents or recommending books or like
teaching, just giving you lessons on.
No, they were just fucking nuns, just like smacking me, dude.
Dude,
like they weren't teachers.
Yeah, right.
Like wonderful, great bartenders, like smart fucking dudes, not fucking teachers.
Dude,
and that's okay.
When I was at Against the Grain, so like I worked there for a little over 3 years, I believe. But I started as a busser, then I busser barback, then I food ran, and then that, like, we were going into the winter, needed food runners less. They offered me half kitchen, half food run, like food run on the weekends, kitchen rest of the time. And there was a guy in the kitchen that was like so mean, and I'm not gonna say his name because I really like this person, and this leads to our becoming friends, my story. But he was like so mean. I would like get all of this anxiety, and like I'd be like nervous, like because he would like come up and be like, "You stupid son of a bitch, why are you cutting the onions like that?"
Oh my god!
You dumb motherfucker. Like, I don't know, like saying stuff like it was mean.
That is mean kitchen shit.
And him and I worked a brunch shift. And there was like, for some reason too, like he was the more experienced one, but for some reason the guy that's like getting all of this shit from him all the time is the one they put on the hot side.
Okay.
Instead of the experienced guy. Okay. So I'm running hot side. I'm doing like salmon and grits and like, I can't even remember. I think we had like some breakfast time. I can't remember everything, but like I had some salmon cooking in this pan, and he was like, "Buddy, your salmon's about to burn, buddy," or something like that. And like I was like, oh, thanks, dude. And I like flipped it and then just like kept moving on. And then like at the end, like we're cleaning up and switching over to the regular menu. And I was like, yo, like, how did you know that the salmon was burning when you hadn't, like, you didn't look at it? Like, you didn't flip it over, you know, you hadn't actually seen it. And he was like, he was still kind of being a little condescending, but he was like, buddy, I hate being called buddy. Okay. I really do. Like, I don't always hate it, but like from certain people and the way they say it like gets my blood pumping. But he's like, buddy, when you've been not bartending, when you've been cooking for 20 years, like I have, like you just know things. And I was like,
it's true.
Okay.
It's that like internal timer. Like,
yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm 22. I would have had to have started cooking when I was 2 years old to know what you know. So why don't you teach me? And like stop expecting me to know shit that you know. And like, cause I didn't say it shit, like I didn't say it mean or anything. And like, that kind of flipped the switch for our relationship. And he did, and he's super knowledgeable, and like our relationship became like very positive. And like, when I did end up leaving to the front of house, a couple days before my last day in the kitchen, we released a new menu, and it was madness. And I was running point on the line, which is basically I am the direct communication with Expo, and then I communicate everything else. And I'm like, you know, I'm putting the final plates in the window to go to Expo, and I'm also cooking food while talking to people and everything. But I'm like, I need 15 burgers down type deal.
So you were like point on like hot side?
I was point for the whole line. Yeah, on hot side. Yeah, it was like what you would call like saute. Then it was like what you would call roast. It was a barbecue place though. Saute, roast, and
fry.
Salad.
Salad
fry. Salad fry.
Yep.
And so I just was like, I don't know, this like line cook demon took over, and I was like a good line cook, Holy Spirit of like just being a badass. Like took over, and like, you know, I was just like locked in, running the game. And then like at the end, he was my grill, doing burgers and stuff. And like at the end of the shift, like he came up to me, he shook my hand, and he was like, I know you're leaving the kitchen soon. He was like, we would have never made it through this shift without you. Like the only reason anything happened as well as it did was because you were here. And I was like, that was a really good comp. Like I was like,
awesome, man. I love those moments.
Thank you. Yeah, like I felt really good about it, but I wasn't seeking the validation. But then getting it, especially from him, just like felt so good. And they actually asked me to stay in the kitchen. Not him, but like the owner asked me to stay in the kitchen, was offering me a really good raise. I was like kind of debating it, and one of my friends that was a manager pulled me aside and was like, dude, I would love for you to stay in the kitchen. Just so you know, the raise that he offered you is $1 more than me and the other manager make. And I wasn't going to be a manager.
Right.
And you'll still make more money if you go to the front of house. And I was broke, dude. They were paying me like $8 an hour.
Fuck.
Like I was poor, dude. So I like, and I had been wanting to serve for a really long time. And yeah, I left, and then my third shift solo was Thunder over Louisville, and I made like my rent plus $300. And I was like, oh, yeah, dude. I'm over here, like, scraping together to get rent, and I just made it in a night, plus some. I'm so happy I left the kid, you know, like, and I still love to cook, dude. Like, I love even line cooking. I've done it a few times since for other places, and like, you know, I'm a beast on the line. I love cooking. I love food. I love eating.
Yeah.
I love eating tasty stuff. What's your favorite cocktail to drink? Do you have like a favorite classic? Let's talk classics.
Yeah. Just a straight classic, right? Dude, man, I'm
Kinda
such a
depends on the-
dude. I'm such a basic bitch, but it really is a daiquiri. It's a fucking daiquiri, man.
No, dude,
all day long.
Love
it's
a daiquiri.
fucking daiquiri.
Do you like to do like split bays?
Oh yeah.
Dark and light.
Dude, depends on what I got.
Fair,
like, for
yeah.
sure. But,
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so one of my favorite fucking pocket daiquiris that I stumbled upon when I was working at Meta. So it's 1 ounce of Ray and Nephew. It's 1 ounce of Listel's Manzanilla sherry.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's a 1/2 ounce of a rich simple syrup, and then 3/4 ounce of lime or a super lime.
Ooh.
And that is one of my favorite fucking daiquiris.
What was the first thing you said?
1 ounce of Ray and Nephew.
Ray and Nephew, yeah.
Jamaican, yep.
Yeah.
Overproof, or it's not overproof, but yeah, Jamaican rum.
An overproof is nice though to split it with. If you got a dark overproof,
yeah. Or,
and,
actually, I think it. I want to say, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Ray and Nephew is either 100 or higher. I want to say, man, it's been a while since I've fucking touched that bottle. It's really awful that I don't know this, like, the back of my hand.
I've been getting into agricole rums lately
Yes.
because I love cachaça.
Yeah.
Caipirinha.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say that that's my favorite classic, but I love a caipirinha, dude.
Yeah.
Catch me on the beach. That's what I want, a caipirinha in my hand. But I'm a pulpy guy. I like pulp. And also that cachaça, man. It's just so good.
Dude, it's delicious. It is. Yeah.
But somebody put me on to agricole rums recently, and I was like, this is like a step closer to cachaça. Because, like, cachaça and rum are, like, cousins.
So, rum is interesting. Rum has to be sugarcane, distilled from sugarcane derivative. Whether that is, per se, molasses, like sugarcane sugar, or it's fresh sugarcane juice. But you can't make rum from, like, beet sugar. Like, it has to be sugarcane.
Right.
So you've got your rum agricoles in your cachaças, right? You've got your
some of that funky stuff.
Exactly, that fresh sugarcane, fermentation, or you've got your molasses.
Yeah. No,
Mm-hmm.
it's all delicious, but I love me a good daiquiri too.
Dude.
I guess, man, it's hard for me to answer my fave.
Yeah.
But like a last word was like, you know, I always kind of knew about whiskey sours. I loved whiskey sours, and margaritas were my jam. Whiskey sour was in my head as like an experienced bartender, like the bourbon margarita.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I also really like it with lime. A whiskey sour with lime, fire. And it's my taste. I can see why some people wouldn't. But first time I had a last word, I was just like, that is it, dude.
That is the cocktail that really got me into gin.
Yeah.
Hands down. Yeah.
No, I respect that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude, a daiquiri, a little split-based daiquiri, a snackery.
Dude, love it.
And, have you heard, I want to shout out Matchbook Distilling. You're welcome. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think so, no.
Dude, small. They're not local, but they are small. Okay. They specialize, they're out of New York, and they like specialize in using like all the stuff that people don't want.
Okay.
Like, for example, there's this like type of squash that grows really big, and it like, I guess like the texture or something, it doesn't actually get used.
Okay.
So it's like this huge thing that's native that just kind of like nobody wants it. So they were like, well, instead of like wasting it, they like chopped it down, mashed it, and whatever. But they made like this squash amaro.
Okay.
It's
yeah.
light, but it's good, and it's like, is it like the best thing I've ever tasted in my life? No, but is it tasty? Is it really tasty? Yes, and it's like eliminating waste. It's really cool. But they have this stuff called Ritual Sister. It's smoked pineapple spirit.
It sounds delicious.
Literally, they smoked pineapple, mashed it, distilled it, and you don't get much, like, it's kind of there in the nose. You don't really taste it much when you like sip it, but if you split base it in a daiquiri, bro.
Are they aging it, or is this unaged?
It's unaged. It's clear.
So technically, that's an eau de vie.
Eau de vie, exactly. It is an eau de vie.
Yeah, it's a brandy.
Yeah.
Smoked pineapple brandy.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
But it is, so if you split base it in a daiquiri, like, it tastes like there's pineapple juice in that daiquiri.
Fuck
it's
yeah.
crazy. It opens up so wide. And yeah, super tasty stuff. Perfect. I was actually gonna ask if you wanted to try this when I got back.
So I thought this would be a good little time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to shout out the gin, or do you want to?
Sure, why not?
I mean, you can if you want, but I mean, also,
no, of course.
I know it's an ex-employer. We could just.
Oh no, it's totally fine. Like,
okay.
Yeah, I didn't leave them on horrible terms. So
cool, perfect.
This is a bottle that I got from Copper and Kings. So this is off the market, sadly. So you guys watching or listening cannot pick this up. But this was a really crazy experiment that they did.
Single cask.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Serbian juniper barrel.
Yeah, right? So not oak.
Oh, is it dark?
It's not crazy dark. So this experiment they did years ago, they got their hands on, I can't remember how many of these like juniper barrels that they got, or these juniper casks.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like they were the big, or not, I don't feel like they were like the 50 something gallon barrels either. I feel like they might have been smaller. But they did a really limited run. So like special botanical build, and we'll get into the aromatics and like the tasty notes and all that shit in a bit. But,
apples and botanicals.
So a cool thing about Copper and Kings is that their gins, they're not currently distilling any gins, but that's okay.
But they're not.
No, they're not.
I have loved almost every gin that they've ever put out.
I've liked a lot of them. And a lot of them, they're all very niche gins. Like,
yes.
They don't have like per se. That's the whole thing too. Is like, even though they put like American Dry on the bottle, like it's a pot still and their arm goes down. That's never going to be a dry gin.
Right.
Because that arm is just collecting all those conjugars, like all those fats and oils, right? And they're not using a column reflux and, like blah, blah, blah. And, the whole London Dry thing, like all the botanicals in a basket and all that. And, but,
that makes sense.
Yeah. Or rather all the botanicals in there. But yeah, man. Cool thing about Copper and Kings is that all of the gins that they were doing were either grape distillate or apple distillate as the base. So they weren't neutral grain gins.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, which I thought was neat.
Yeah, they had the first gin that I ever, like, it was how I learned I liked gin.
Fuck yeah, man.
Oh. And for cash strength?
Yeah, this is 128.
That's
Yeah.
Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
that makes me want to make a cocktail.
Yes, it does.
You get a lot of that apple.
Yeah,
you
do.
really do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like juicy.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
right?
juicy gin.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, kind of some of the notes I get off this, like, I mean, that fennel is there, like, really, really nicely. Like, it never gets too. It never tastes like those like panda black licorice candies, right? Like the fennel in this, like, is just there enough. It almost reminds me of like the little fennel candies that you get after an Indian dinner.
Yeah,
right? Like there's almost that sweetness to it as well.
I know what you're talking.
Like,
yeah,
mm-hmm.
It's got the sweetness to kind of balance out the bitter aspect of fennel of its own.
And then another note, and it's not listed on this, but dude, I swear there's like kefir lime leaf in this.
Dude.
Or there's got to be lime peel, if anything. But I swear I get like the lime leaf in there.
I agree, and I think I've been trying to place that flavor in my mind, like searching for it in the category log of flavors in my head. No, I see that.
Yeah. And of course we've got like peppercorn in here for sure. I get some rose. Yeah, definitely some like angelica root.
It does have a very like anisey, absinthe. You know what would be? I wouldn't. This would be a great rinse. For a cocktail.
Yeah.
Like I'm almost imagining like a Corpse Reviver #2 with that as the rinse.
Yeah.
Would just be kind of fun.
That would be fun. You know what I want to make with this?
What's that?
I want to make a mango lassi riff.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Because it's already going to be super juicy.
Yeah, man.
Dude, we had a mango lassi
like,
on
to
the menu.
me, this just screams like Indian food.
Yeah.
Like, I know. Like, dude, it's weird. Like, I just get a lot of Indian food off this gin for, I don't know. So yeah, with mango and like some yogurt.
Yeah,
like,
some yogurt. Yeah.
Now you could mess around with fat washing with that yogurt.
Maybe some lime juice. Yeah. Oh, fat washing
100%.
the yogurt.
Yeah. Or exactly, because with the yogurt too, you could pop that in the freezer. All of that would frickin' freeze and rise.
Yeah.
And then just to be safe, if you wanted to, coffee filter it, or like a couple of fine mesh nut bags would work as well.
Totally.
Because you're not gonna
cheesecloth.
Yeah, you're not gonna strip that that fat content and that acidity too that yogurt's gonna give to it.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah. Or like even like a milk punch.
Yeah.
Like milk punch kind of vibes. Sound like it could be fun. Like a mango lassi milk punch.
Yeah, man.
With that?
I fuck with that. I fuck with that, dude.
Hell yeah. Oh man, that's delicious. Yeah, I love making cocktails. It's so much fun. I'm gonna tell you one. So like I'm new to the fat wash game, but I've done it once, and it was for like a special that I was running. And that squash amaro that I was talking about.
Yeah.
I pumpkin pie spice infused that.
Oh fuck yeah.
And then
like with the pumpkin puree or just the spice?
Just the spice.
Okay.
Because it's squash, so it was like pumpkin. It was like pumpkin pie spice squash, which pumpkin is a squash. So I infused the pumpkin pie spice, and then I did Borghetti.
Yeah.
Bourbon. So 1-1-1.
Okay.
And then I did a butter washed grappa.
That's fun.
A butter washed grappa, and I did a rinse with that.
Okay.
So stir. I had like Ango and chocolate.
What
bitters.
grappa were you using?
Oh, I could tell you. I can see the bottle. The bottle has got like a kind of wispy, a very simple label, but like a...
Dude, if you ever want to revisit that recipe, Nonino does a grappa.
Ooh.
And it's fire.
Dude, that sounds fire.
Really good, dude. And that little bit of that like orange, like... Yeah, man.
All
Like,
right.
citrus notes with the squash and the coffee, like.
I'll definitely. I do, because I mean I've got not working now. The only bummer, genuinely, is I had a lot. Not even a lot, but I had some really fun ideas for the spring menu that I can make happen, but it's going to be a solo project, making at least the ingredient that I'll need. I want to make a magnolia blossom tincture.
Okay.
Because magnolia blossoms are edible.
Yeah.
And apparently offer like a gingery like taste.
Sick. Okay.
So my plan was to soak that, and then I could dilute it to like a bitter strength.
Yeah.
And like I was hoping, like, this was going to be an experiment, but I was hoping that you got enough of that gingery flavor, or like just enough flavor in general from the blossoms.
Mm-hmm.
But if not, I was going to maybe chop up some fresh ginger and throw it in there as well.
Okay.
Just to kind of. Now it's magnolia blossom ginger tincture. Magnolia blossom ginger bitters.
Absolutely. When you do that, keep your tincture separate and get like a separate new bottle and mess around with ratios.
That makes sense. So I can make sure that I don't mess it up.
Yeah, and you can
add too much.
Yeah, and you can make it consistent every single fucking time.
Right.
Like
No.
Okay, so it's like 60 milliliters of the magnolia and like 40 milliliters of the ginger, or like something,
yeah. Sick. I know that you've got. I think I know your opinion, but thoughts on the bartender's handshake for Net Branca? Divisive opinions.
Right, man. I mean, dude. In my opinion, any sort of shot is a bartender's handshake. Like,
That's legit.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I almost felt cheesy calling Fernet the bartender's handshake, but I know that that's like a common.
No, absolutely no. That's a very common. Yeah, absolutely, man. And that was totally, like what a brilliant marketing buy Fernet as well. You know what I mean?
It.
Like, oh, dude, I love Fernet. Like, I will always take a shot of Fernet.
It's just like. Magical. And I didn't always love it, but once I hit love, it's like I really like that stuff. And well, I agree on it is excellent. It is excellent marketing on there, like a marketing strategy, but also I've got a theory on how I think it became that way. And maybe it was just like brilliant marketing, but I always joke that it was the bottle behind the bar that like was starting to collect dust, and they were like, we've never served this. So then the bartenders were like, well, let's take a shot. And they were like, oh, well, that was rough, but kind of liked it,
Yeah.
It's just going to waste sitting here. And then they finished that bottle and just had to have more. They were like, get us another bottle of that.
Dude,
I feel like that's how it happened, was like it was so untouched until all of a sudden that's why it was being picked. Mm-hmm. And then, the masses fell in love.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I also love it. Shout out for Net Branca. I will always accept you as a sponsor. So, keep that in mind.
That's a sweet thing about Frenets too. Is like, there's so many different, Frenets, right? There's, that's just a style, like a style.
Yeah, Branca is its own.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the Argelinek Fernet.
I don't think I've had that one.
I could be pronouncing it wrong, but it's so good. And then there's like this new brand. It's a square bottle. It's like a short square bottle. For some reason, I wanted to call it Jarvis. I cannot remember, but they put out that, some other Amaro, and like a Chaparral or something. And it was, like, all were great.
Okay.
But yeah, there's so many different types of Fernet. I really want to play with like making my own one day.
Yeah, man.
Maybe I will soon. The spring is coming. I haven't planted my herbs yet.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get some stuff going. But anyway, I wanted to transition into like you know, you are so knowledgeable in bartending. I wanted to like talk about some of that, and but I also know that you are a DJ.
Yeah.
And
shit too.
When did DJing kind of enter the scene for you? Has it always been there? Or?
So, this would have been back in like, like 2008. Yeah, okay. 2008, 2009. I was working in pizza kitchens with my buddy Phil. And we would always blast like Girl Talk or like
dude, like, I loved Girl Talk back in the day.
Like Girl Talk was the big one, but
mashups.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'd always blast that in the kitchen, or or some like Beastie Boys, or other like DJ mixes, or like, other kitchen dudes would come in and bring in whatever shit too.
All hip hop, old school hip hop is like sampling and even a lot of new music today is just so much sampling,
big time.
But yeah, no, sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. But we'd be blasting, exactly, like DJ mixes and shit in the kitchen. And one day I looked at my buddy Phil and I was like, dude, I bet we could do this shit. Bet we could figure this out. And he's like, yeah, I bet we could, man.
Yeah.
So saved up a little bit of money. Or no, it was even way before that. That's a good point. I had GarageBand.
Yes.
On my fucking Mac Mini, man. I had GarageBand on my Mac Mini. So me and Phil, we'd talk about it a little bit in the kitchen, but one day I'm like, dude, our next day off, let's just fuck around on GarageBand. Yeah. Let's just see what happens, right? So we started fucking around and, smoking weed and drinking, and, at that time it was just us, like, chopping up a song just to begin with, right? Like, just messing around, so chopping up a song, rearranging, phrases or bars or, whatever, right? So messing around with that shit. And then we're like, all right, so, obviously now we're going to try to splice together 2 different songs.
Yeah.
And see how, that's working out. So we start to do these, our own per se mashups using GarageBand. And we don't know shit about beats per minute or key or any of this shit at the time. We're just chopping shit up and like puzzling it together
to a way that sounds good.
Yeah.
To you.
And it exactly, right? And it doesn't sound it doesn't ever sound like anything you'd ever hear on the radio, right?
Sure.
But it definitely sounds like early DJ cuts kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like, okay, this is getting a vibe. This is like, yeah.
So then we start going beyond just doing like 2-song mashups, and we're like, okay, well, can we build an entire set doing this?
Yeah.
So then we'd put together ExZachLy. Like, I remember when we hit like 10 minutes and we're like, oh wow, we've got, songs that we've chopped up in transitions, for 10 minutes.
That's
a
long, that's,
and that took us, dude, weeks. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
sure.
Yeah, and like, all of this is like infancy kind of shit.
Yeah.
So all of this progresses and we finally get together, like a 25-minute mix, and we throw a fucking party.
Sick.
Because we're so pumped about this awful, fucking 25-minute fucking mix, dude.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like dog shit, but like, it's the beginning of, it's the beginning of it. And dude, it was fun, man. I still wish I had a copy of that shit, but it's gone. It's
right.
Yeah, if it's still on a CD somewhere in some fucking landfill, I'm sure. But
yeah.
But yeah, we threw that party, and then, we had a great time, and everybody seemed to have a good time, and, we're just playing other music too.
Cool.
And then we did a bunch more, and then I decided to get a DJ controller, so I got that shit. Yeah, it was a what the fuck was that? It was the DJX or something, or it was the motorized one. It was like one of the first. It was the first motorized controller that they ever put out on the market.
Yeah.
So it had like 2 faux pieces of like vinyl.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 2 faux 45s on top. And that, yeah, it was.
And you just digitally put the track on those two separate. You have two channels basically.
Exactly.
Plus
right?
exterior channels, mics, camera, or whatever.
Yeah.
Mics and.
So what me and Phil had been doing is we had been doing all this in GarageBand, right? So we had all the time in the world to put together a mix. But when you really start getting into DJing, right? Like spinning 2 records or 2 tracks or spinning 3 or 4 or whatever, right? You're doing it all in real time. You're doing it then, there, and now.
And that's like even something like you probably did rehearse that. You did practice that.
When I very first started, but just literally getting that controller, like, dude, it was crazy. Because I'm like, oh my God, I don't have all the time in the world to, you know what I mean? Like,
I have to do this, like this needs to happen in a somewhat fast pace that flows and builds up to something.
And, and it's just it's a completely different hardwiring, and it's a different way to think than with music production.
Yes.
Like, producing music is very much like being a composer. Like, you're exactly right. You're writing this music, right?
Yes.
Whereas DJing is more like being a conductor.
So
like you're just kind of keeping shit in time.
So would you call what you were doing in, even though it was like chopping up and stuff like that, would you call what you were doing in GarageBand or producing?
Like rudimentary forms of like producing together a mix in a
it's
weird
like
way.
Yeah. It's so producing, but like a different. It's a niche of production.
Because we were trying to, the guy Girl Talk is who we were not trying to emulate, our biggest influence, right?
They were your biggest influence.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, all of the DJ mixes were very much like, mashup based and like 2 tracks and us trying to, isolating a part of one track that has no vocal that's going to work if we keep looping it. It's got enough of a melody. It's a full loop. It doesn't sound off. Like, so we were doing like very basic rudimentary, like Girl Talk style mashup.
Sure.
Shit. Yeah. Nothing to the level he was doing at all. But.
So what's your focus today? Is it still like,
dude,
DJ production, a little bit of everything?
Man, yeah, I know, right? So I just this past weekend DJ'd a show in Cincy. My buddy Colin, he goes by Ill-Starred. He got me, or he asked me to DJ up there with him for this gig. It's called Velvet 360.
Oh, shout out!
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Was the event, or that's your buddy's name?
Oh no, that was the event name.
What's your buddy's DJ name?
He goes by Ill-Starred.
Ill-Starred.
Yeah, Colin. Yeah. Colin is phenomenal, dude. He's a insanely wonderful, like peak fucking tech house DJ.
Sick.
Peak time tech house, dude. Dude, he kills it. He's flawless. So that event was really fun. It was kind of set up like a boiler room kind of style.
Cool.
Where we were like not in the middle of the crowd, but like not separated.
Yeah. No, I love just shows like that in general. 3-foot stage.
Yeah.
Kind of vibes.
Yeah.
That's hardcore. That's hardcore punk vibes, So I like the sound of a DJ set being like that as well. So you're live DJing, creating tracks, and giving dance vibes.
Yeah, man. Like, so I don't produce or do edits anymore. Which I've been thinking about getting back into it through like, oh God, what is that software called? Fuck, I'll think about it in a minute.
Sure.
But yeah, just like DJing and own like a flight array sound system. So I like to do sound work when I can.
Cool.
I like to throw events when I can too. So.
Yeah, I wanted to go into Lucky Cat Kitchen.
Yeah.
Is that your DJ name, or is that like the kind of event production? Or?
Yeah, that's kind of the event production like handle or umbrella that I'm exactly like running with. or
Yeah.
the name that I'm working with now, rather, or I've came up with myself. Don't want to make it sound like I'm working with a crew or
Did
whatever.
it start with food?
It did. It started with me doing pop-ups at Meta, like little kitchen pop-ups.
I was at Meta.
Because back in the day, I used to, I just started calling our group like Get Buck Entertainment or whatever.
Wait.
And that's what we, went by for, or our crew did for a hot minute.
I think I remember seeing that. I think, yeah.
Dude, we did fun shit, man. We did a show at Riot Skate Park out in the East End. We did like three or four of those base skates. We did events all over town.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of fun back in the day.
But the food is not.
Oh yeah, the Lucky Cat Kitchen, dude. I would still,
anymore.
yeah, man, I would still do it. But that was more of just a thing to honestly kind of help Meta out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
give more options, more reasons to be there.
Kind of shit.
Yeah. Higher ticket.
Yeah.
Bigger tips.
Well, that was even before I was full-time bartending. I was just like picking up shifts there, helping Natalie out and doing like pop-up kitchens like once a month on the weekend.
Yeah. I love that you kept the kitchen.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I mean, you are a DJ's a chef in some ways. Plus, sounds like you like to cook.
Yeah, man.
So I thought it was
tasty
cool.
Dance events.
Tasty, serving up hot plates of tasty dance events. Yeah, dude. I love that. Dude, I have been working like pretty much every time you've texted me, and I'm like, dang. But that's the life of a freaking bartender. But now I have more free time, so you definitely keep letting me know. Hopefully I can make it out to some, because I love to cut a rug. I love to dance. So, so it's kind of like the main umbrella. So would you consider that? Is that what you go by as a DJ as well?
No, I go by DJ Ghost.
DJ Ghost.
Yeah, it's G-O-A-S-T.
G-O-O.
So I used to have an Instagram for that, but then I got rid of it. I don't know, man. Like, I still love to DJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I definitely do, but definitely not like per se my focus anymore.
You're way more into like throwing events.
Yeah.
And getting
honestly,
other DJs to do that job while you're making a fun event. Dude, I've been wanting to throw events in town for a while. How is it going?
Dude, I did, we did some fun events at Trellis over the summer.
Yeah.
And then that relationship just didn't work out, but that's okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude, they make great beer, and like they have a great staff. And
Kyle is cool.
Yeah, they have a great establishment and all that.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't the right fit, and that's okay. And I was gonna do stuff at Copper and Kings, but yeah, exactly. That wasn't the right fit either. So that's all right.
Yeah, do you have any venue locked in at the moment?
At the moment, no. I'm gonna return and talk to Isaiah at Jubilee Fields.
Cool.
Yeah, that's actually a really cool business that opened up last year. So it's like a bar venue spot. It's on the way from Old Louisville to Germantown. It's that intersection that they have frickin' blocked off right now until 2027.
Yeah.
You know that three-way intersection that's at like the top of the hill by the train tracks?
Yes.
Kind of by Burger Boy.
Yes. On the other side of the train tracks.
Yeah. Exactly. So on the other side of that fucking mess is...
Oh, that's blocked off.
It's Jubilee Fields.
Oh.
So what a wonder. Yeah, so they open, and then the city decides to close off that intersection, which completely kills their through traffic and makes it really hard to get to. Yeah.
So it's just like not ideal for that reason.
And the work is not going to be done until 2027. Like,
God. And then that's their estimated date, so it could still go longer.
Yeah, and every time I go by there, I try to look over to see if they're doing anything. It doesn't look like they've done shit, honestly.
Of course, I mean,
they might have moved in some heavy machinery,
especially the past couple of months. I mean, it's been so
weird.
cold. We had the snow.
Well, yeah. That's true.
Like the past couple of months, but I mean, even still before that, Yeah, dude, that sucks. All right, well, I'll keep some eyes
Jubilee
out,
Fields.
and you know,
so yeah, go support them. But yeah, so their spot in general, they got a lot. They built one building on it. I think another building was already there, or maybe they moved in a double wide and like poured a slab for it or something. And it's not trashy. I'm not trying to make this sound like it's some fucking like Podunkville or whatever.
Well, it's also in construction.
Well, no, their construction is done.
Oh.
Like, so yeah, it's just the city construction with the street.
Just the road.
But yeah, they were new construction on this lot, which is really fucking cool, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of red tape to fucking navigate. So props to them for building from the ground up. That's awesome.
Well, I'll definitely keep an eye out for places that I if I think it could make a cool venue. I'll, you know.
But yeah, they're called Jubilee Fields because they're more of an outdoor venue. Than anything, you know. Like they have a nice bar that's, you know, like a brand new building, and you know, yeah, it's just not very big. So their focus is more on when the weather is nice, like outdoor events and their giant fenced.
It's called Jubilee Fields.
Yeah.
Is that it's new?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna recommend the new bar, but I couldn't remember the name, and I guess you're already on it. That place looks cool. I haven't been yet, but it looks really, really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they closed down in like January, maybe February for like winter hours or something like that. But if they're not already reopened yet, then they will be very shortly. So,
cool. Yeah, because weather's getting there. Yeah. They don't have any enclosures though, like it is. If you're there, you're outside.
Oh no. Their main bar building has, you know, 2 large restrooms. It has like 6 or 8 tables in there that I think are like 4 tops or 2 tops.
Cool. And
then probably, you know, seating room for 8 or 10 at the bar.
Oh man, this place sounds cool. I gotta get out there. Do they have food?
So that's a cool thing too, is that they have hookups for pop-up food trucks and shit.
Oh so, man, I gotta get out there. I can't wait until they get back open.
If somebody is mixing vinyl, I can mix into that vinyl. But yeah, dude, I've never fucked around with 2 turntables.
Yeah, right. I mean, that sounds. It's honestly, it's so cool to me to think about being a part of that history and like learning that you can do that. It's just like big time impressive and like so cool and changed music forever, kind of.
Yeah, I've got some buddies in town that are incredible fucking vinyl DJs.
Clay Baker?
Yeah. Dude, yeah. Super fucking fun vinyl DJ, man.
Oh, I love Clay.
Yeah. Ian, he used to go by Puppin Suds. I think he still goes by Mint Romney, but he's...
Mint Romney,
dude.
Sick.
I think he still goes by Mint Romney. Maybe not. Or I think... No, it's still... No. Fuck. I fucked it up. It's just Mint. It's just DJ Mint now. But yeah, he is a phenomenal fucking vinyl DJ.
Yeah.
John Paul Brown, incredible vinyl DJ. JP Source, fucking Aaron Chadwell, Alex Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of those fucking Let's Dance dudes. Like,
yeah,
man.
Oh, Wanna Dance?
Excuse me.
Dude, dude.
Ben Man.
I didn't know that. I'm familiar with Wanna Dance. I've had so much fun. Like their Whirling Tiger events, some of the funnest dancing in town. Truly. Besides Lucky Cat Kitchen, I'm sure.
Oh shit.
You know, maybe comparable.
It's just different feels. That's
totally. I was building you up, not very good. Yeah. No disrespect to those guys by any means. But what about just in general? Do you have a vinyl collection? Do you listen to vinyl? Do you like vinyl?
I do not. I don't own a single piece of vinyl.
It's an expensive hobby.
Dude, I've bought vinyl for friends for like birthday presents and Christmas and shit. But yeah, exactly. I just know, how expensive that gets.
Very
and how
much.
heavy it gets. And I already, like...
Dude, a vinyl DJ.
My heavyweight hobby is reading. So
Oh, yeah.
I've got quite a few books. So
Dude, I'll have to show you our library before you leave.
dude, fuck yeah.
And we just got this really vintage vinyl player. It's like a whole cabinet. It's got like the top slides over. It's got the speakers built in. Top slides up to reveal the player, and then the other side slides over for storage.
Fuck yeah.
For your vinyl.
That's badass.
It's super cool. It was in Elizabeth's granny's basement.
Okay.
And yeah, no, it's just cool. We haven't plugged it in yet, hoping it works, but it'll probably be something that we get restored, if not, because it was her granny's, but super stoked about it. It's just a beautiful, cool piece of furniture. That's fun, like, that plays music.
Yeah, dude.
So I'm super excited about it, but I believe you had a couple of questions maybe for me today.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm ready if you want to hit me with some of those.
So kind of right off the gate, Zerg, Terran, or Protoss?
Zerg, Terran, or Protoss? Am I gonna sound stupid if I ask what that is?
Oh no, it's all good. StarCraft.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
like the
had a
OG
feeling.
yeah.
Oh man.
All right. Well, here, let me switch it up. Charmander, Squirtle, or Bulbasaur.
Ooh. I think I'm gonna have to go Squirtle.
Squirtle.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
I love me some water, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like, especially when I was younger, always in the water. I love to swim. I still do. It's just like harder to find times to, unless you have a pool. It's harder to find times to swim as I get older. But even to this day, if I'm like hiking and I get to a body of water that my body can fit in, I'm getting in the water.
That shit.
Yeah,
Fuck
I'm
yeah,
jumping
man.
in, bro.
Fuck yeah.
Doesn't matter how cold it is. I would be more concerned about like gross still water, if something looked
100%,
something looked nasty, maybe I wouldn't. But I'm not gonna jump in the Ohio River. Yeah. But
no brain eating amoebas.
Yeah, brain eating amoebas, all that stuff. Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that. But I will, if I'm hiking through the gorge or something. I'm getting in. If I can fit, I'm getting in.
Fuck yeah.
How about you? Just curious.
With
the Pokemans.
Oh shit, Charizard.
Charizard? Okay.
Charizard, yeah.
I can see that.
That's always my pick, dude.
Yeah. Fire guy. Yeah.
It's just funny because I'm like, all my Zodiac is like Earth.
But yeah.
Charizard was
Makes
definitely
sense.
Always my pick.
What do you like nature? Do you like to hike and stuff like that?
Dude, I don't get out in nature as much as I would like to.
I get that.
But yeah, man. No, I definitely enjoy it.
Sick.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude. We'll have to battle our Pokemon sometime.
Dude, we'll have to do that. So, kind of serious question.
Okay.
Where do you think the American liquor industry is going?
Man, that is a great question. Obviously, my credentials are purely as unofficial. I'm just a bartender.
Yeah. Or if you just want to talk about Louisville, you can,
No, I mean, just like, in general, it's hard to say because I feel like it's an oversaturated market. I would like to personally, I would be okay with seeing less brands, but better quality brand. You know what I mean? Like, you got a lot of poopy bourbons out there. You got a lot of, bad everything, and the bad exists. You know, some of the bad is like $5 for a handle. You know what I mean? Okay, that can stay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's for someone, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
we don't need 500 bourbons at the $50 mark, and 400 of them are just not good, or like not worth the money.
Right?
Like, you know, I'd maybe buy that if it was 20.
Yep.
But honestly, I wouldn't, because Old Forester exists. You know, so just like maybe just give it up, bud. But so like I
so you
think
the bourbon bubble's gonna pop?
I mean, I do and I don't, because I feel like as they grow, they just like expand their reach. So, just a bigger market. As far as bourbon specifically, but it's like, you know, you hear things of like people don't, like, especially these younger generations don't drink as much, but also I feel like that's just not, maybe they don't drink as much as like millennials, but I feel like you know, serving 21-year-olds have seen, like, you know, I would get quite a few 21-year-olds coming into the cute cocktail bar, you know, and paying $12 for a drink and $13 for a drink. And when I was 21, I was not doing that. I was like, $12 for a drink? No, give me a PBR.
Yeah.
Give me a PBR and a shot of house bourbon.
Yep.
You know, and here's $4, and that included a like $2 tip type deal, you know, like,
yep.
But so I feel, I think that eventually, like, I think the craft is starting to expand. Like, people are being more into the craft cocktails and into like drinking less but increasing the quality.
Mm-hmm.
And I could be wrong, but where do I think it's going? Man, I think it's gonna be just fine. I think, if anything, personally, I think there will be a point where the bubble pops, but all the brands that you want to keep will still be there. The ones that have been there for a long time, I don't think are gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, your legacies.
Yeah, your legacies, and I'm not even talking like fancy new. I'm not saying like they're gonna stay because of the corporation. I'm gonna stay because what bar doesn't have Old Forester? What, you know? And I love bourbon. I really do, and I think that bourbon has a great place. But growing up in Louisville, I, as you know, really love gin, especially when it comes to creating cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
I like all of my favorite classics are gin classics. My tops. But again, I just like appreciate flavor and variety, and love me a caipirinha and cachaça, and I don't think it's going anywhere. I really don't. If there's a collapse or like a decline, I think we'll only lose the ones that I'm okay to lose. That I never even heard of anyway, because, you know, the bars open and close all the time. Businesses open and close all the time, and I think places not succeeding says more about them than the market.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
And like their approach to it.
Right.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, not who they are, but it's also just kind of like people are seeing the fact that you charge them $20 for a $5 drink. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think, you know, people see it if you give them a $20 burger or a $5 burger, but charge them $20 for that burger. And I think people's tolerances for that, like, that's why places get people who go once and never come back. You know, it's like they get that beginning pop and they get confident, but people were coming to check out the new spot.
Exactly.
But are they coming back? And that's what you want. You don't need the hype. Honestly, I'd rather be slow when I open and build than I would be busy and then decline. You know, I mean, if you can be busy and maintain or build, you know, that's better.
That's better.
That's the goal. That's what I want.
Right.
You know, but I personally, I think it's gonna stay. I really do. What are your thoughts?
Oh man. Dude, I would say over the next, I think it's gonna be really interesting over the next like 15 years.
Sure.
Because I think we're gonna start to run into a lot of like soil issues. That's where I kind of see, sadly, where I see shit going, like especially with agave. Especially with agave, but also not just with agave. Also with like American farms as well. Because if you think about it, if we're talking about whiskey, right, we're talking about primarily 4 grains.
Yeah.
Right.
Corn.
Yep.
Rye.
Barley. Wheat.
I would say wheat.
And then you got your wheated bourbons. So the majority of, I mean, it's insane, dude. I mean, it's in the high 90%. The majority of all distilleries buy their grain, whether or not it's through local farmers within a 200-mile radius. They're buying their grain from farmers that use Monsanto like seed, right?
Yeah.
So all of this grain is coming from Monsanto.
Huh.
And I think that's really fucking interesting. And I think that's a thing that the liquor industry hasn't, you know, maybe they're as connected to, you know, larger entities like Monsanto than I think. But at the same time, they have that like middleman of the actual farmer, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, Monsanto has the ability to, I mean, they have complete control over that product in a weird way.
So,
I mean, you know, you've got a handful of distilleries that don't use Monsanto corn. I mean, within Kentucky, the only one I can think about is Jepta Creed.
oh,
Like,
is
the only distillery that does not use.
Is Monsanto? Is it like the way that it grows? Does it like deplenish the nutrients?
I mean, that's the thing is like that this. So Monsanto seed doesn't reproduce, right? So you gotta buy that seed every single year. It's genetically modified. Another
that
thing
stuff
about it
pisses me off.
Yeah. Another thing about their seed too is that unless you give it, you know, these per se Monsanto brand chemical fertilizers, and you're going to use their brand because it's going to be your cheapest option anyway, but you know, unless you use these fertilizers and these per se these chemical fertilizers, like, you know, which is continuing to destroy like the natural microbiome of the soil, right? It's driving away all earthworms. It's killing all the natural good bacteria. It's killing all the amoebas.
The ecosystem.
It's killing all the fungi. Yeah, it's killing the soil.
Yeah.
It's literally killing the soil. Because if you think about plants, what is soil to plants is really just its stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
No,
like,
I
that's
mean,
where it processes
it's digestion.
Nutrients, right?
Yeah.
So
no, that makes sense.
It's this digestive tract, its stomach. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you, yeah, exactly. When you kill this,
ecosystem.
Correct. Right?
Yeah, but the bugs and the like the bacteria and the mycelium, and it's all shit, connected, right? Dude. Yeah. And it's living in you said the word symbiotic. It's a symbiotic relationship.
And we're destroying that.
We're killing one part of the body. Yeah. It like makes me so. Yes.
So then so now we have, and this has been going on for fucking decades, right? Like decades. So now we've got all of this, what used to be super rich, healthy, farmland soil.
Yeah.
Is now dead, right? And it's going to take such a long time to get back to being in its, in its natural state, right? But yeah, basically you've got all of this farmland that keeps getting bought up and getting bought up and getting bought up, right? There's less and less farms. Those farms are bigger and bigger and bigger conglomerate entities, right? They're commercial, farms. They're the farms that, provide all the food for all the Krogers and the Myers and the whatever, if that's called a Ralph's in this side of the country, or it's called a fucking Tony's down here, it's called a freaking Lion over here, it's all the same umbrella conglomerate. But yeah, eventually we're basically almost there, but eventually you reach this point where you've got one company that controls the grain.
Yeah. Big grain, dude.
Yeah, dude, and that's fucking wild to think about. So
it really is. And they're not sustainable at all.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't want to use Monsanto anymore. Well, now your fucking farmland soil is dead.
And they got the only seeds because everything they've been giving people doesn't produce.
Yeah.
So now you have to rely on them.
Yeah. So
big grain. Screw you, big grain.
Screw you, big grain.
But yeah, no. So you wouldn't be surprised to see a crash that's almost involuntary.
And it can all be controlled by. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, the power is no longer in
the people making it, or the farmers, or anybody. Right? Yeah. It's big grain.
It's the grain control, yeah.
And now, suddenly, they own the bourbon companies.
Pretty fucking much. Yeah, I'm sure they already have stock in those companies.
I'm sure.
Why not?
Yeah. When you're supplying them, and...
Exactly. But
you're also making sure that they're cutting costs in every area possible. Man, how come all these companies keep finding cheaper and cheaper and cheaper options, but then their prices keep going up and up and up? I thought you said you were saving money and you charged me more. That's double dipping, sir.
Yeah, dude.
And do you want to know how much I make an hour? Not that much. So chill.
I make 8.5 candy bars an hour because of inflation. It used to be more candy bars, but
doesn't go as far as it used to. Then I gotta sell those candy bars just to make enough money to put gas in my tank. Okay, just stop being greedy, rich people. Okay, it's really annoying. God, you don't need a private island. And if you want one, just sell more. Don't reduce the quality. And don't take it out on the people. Ugh. Yeah. Cue Bugs Life scene where the ants take over the grasshoppers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. I guess we'll see. The way that we treat the earth in general makes me sad. I think more people need to realize that we are a part of the earth. And whenever we die, we go back into that dirt.
Yep.
And we are a part of that ecosystem, and we need to see not only other people, but the earth itself as all different parts of one entity, one life, one it's wild to me. Oh man, it makes me think of I believe there's a massive sandstorm that happens in the Sahara in Africa. I'm saying that right. Sahara's in Africa. Oh, yeah. Yes. Okay. massive sandstorm that happens in the Sahara Desert that basically wisps up all of this sand into the sky. And then that travels across the ocean and is distributed into the soil of the Amazon. That gives the Amazon like nutrients that it
minerals,
has. It's
yeah.
it like
Holy
the Amazon's
shit, dude.
ecosystem would not be what it is if that hadn't been happening for years and years and years.
That's fucking wild.
And you know, taking into the fact that the Amazon couldn't be the Amazon without the Sahara is just like that's the Earth is one giant living organism.
Yep.
And it's got, you know, every action has a reaction, and we keep causing a lot of reactions. And in a giant organism such as the Earth, and just like your body, you don't always see the negative side effects of your actions when it's happening. And then whenever you get the side effects, or whenever you do see the side effects, you don't necessarily even know that one action is what caused it.
That, yeah.
You know, like, just because that is the fact of why the Earth is warming, it could have, you know, you never know what, like, when did that really get started? You know what I mean? Like, we're making it,
you know, and I mean, we're definitely not helping at all.
No, not at all.
But yeah, there's natural cycles of stuff. It's, I mean,
sure,
like the sun's solar activity. Of course, when the sun goes into a more active peak, you know, like 2025 was per se the peak of the CME, like, ejection, like, that round of the sun's cycle or some shit.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, man, the sun has a huge part of that too. Like,
no, dude, and it's crazy to think about if we were like a mile closer or a mile further from the sun, we'd either be ash or ice. A mile. Is that
seriously?
Crazy? That's what I heard.
I don't know, man.
We can fact check it.
I'd fact check.
We'll fact check
just in
it.
Case.
I'll do it right now.
I feel like our zone's a little bit wider than that.
I'm trying to think of where I heard this from. I feel like I really can't remember my source.
Yeah, I know when we look for, you know, like habitable planets, we always look for, you know, this per se this band of kilometers, you know, space this far around whatever sun that's roughly this size. They got some sort of fucking equation for that shit. I want that 2 moons though, dude. I want that life.
2 moons.
I would love to have 2 moons. That'd be so cool. You always see that shit in anime and you're like, man, that'd be awesome. 2 moons.
Okay. I feel like 1.5 million kilometers. Okay. I was definitely way off. 1.5 million km to miles.
700,000 something miles.
Oh, yeah. I was just like embarrassingly wrong. 932,056 miles. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I don't know. This is why I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I heard that from someone somewhere, and I'm happy we fact checked it. But did you have any other things you wanted to talk about?
Shit, man. All right, one. Yeah, why not? One last question. Would you go to space? Okay, I've got one small question after that, but would you go to space?
I would, I think, if there was someone that I actually trusted that created the technology and was responsible for the takeoff and everything like that.
Okay.
But I feel like the powers that be right now, I want to be associated with nothing
That shit.
of that. Yeah, dude. Like, who knows if anyone's ever actually been to space anyway? I mean, I think some people for sure have, but like, I don't know. I just don't trust any of those guys. But like, if you told me that you've been like engineering like a madman in your basement and you got this thing, like, I don't know, something about that. There's like a pirate aspect to it of man. Like freedom. Let's go. I'll go on this venture with you, bro.
Fuck yeah, man.
But I don't know if I would with I definitely don't want to be in a pod with Elon Musk.
No, hell no, dude.
But how about you? Would you go to space?
Oh, dude, in a heartbeat.
Do you think that there's life out there?
Yeah.
I do too. I think something out there is alive.
Even if it's like some, dog-like race, that's not, just as smart as dogs, right? Like there's got to be something. There's something out there.
I mean, they just like, we're one galaxy. We're one, the big world out there. Space is big. Space is scary.
Yeah, dude. Space is monsters.
The ocean is kind of like space.
All right. I would rather, dude, any day of the week, I'd rather go to space than go fucking scuba diving. I'm serious, dude. Scuba diving freaks me the fuck out, dude.
Like deep dives or...
Dude, I don't care if I'm 20 feet down.
Dude.
No, fuck that shit.
That is so funny.
Fuck that shit. In a swimming pool, okay. In the ocean, hell no.
Or like maybe a lake. Would you do it in a lake?
Yeah, I do it in a lake.
I think I would too, but fish are scary, dude.
See, that's the thing too. Is I don't know. I'm just so paranoid about something going wrong, and like, dude, oh my god. And the whole deep, if you go down so deep, what is it? If you go past 30 feet or some shit like that,
the pressure will crush you.
You got to do that decompression as you come up.
Yeah, so getting
nitrous.
out, you can't even just
Nope.
you can't sprint to exit.
Nah, dude.
No.
Fuck that.
Fuck
that, dude. That's awful.
I have been relatively fearless in a lot of aspects of my life, like climbing, mountaineering, sleeping in the wood, heights, all that stuff. The one thing that I genuinely have a fear of is the ocean. And I say sharks, but really just the ocean, and just honestly, it's a lifelong dream of mine to become a pirate one day. But a good pirate, I'm over here I won't fight anybody unless they are bad people. Then I guess I will because I have to. But I still don't really want to fight. But those are the only people that I would. That's the only robbing and pillaging and fighting that I want to do is against bad people kind of pirate.
You just want to go coast around and check shit out.
I just want to adventure the world in a sailboat with some friends, aka the crew. Y'all know who you are. No. But the thought of jumping in to massively deep, just even jumping in,
exactly, in
the ocean. And you can't see the bottom.
Oh, fuck that.
And
fucking no, dude, nope.
And I would like to live by the ocean one day, preferably the Pacific coast over the Atlantic coast. But I would like to live close to the ocean because I do have a big respect for it. And there is a part of me, I always said I wasn't really a beach guy until I experienced the Pacific coast. And then I was something about the ocean there just really, it's making me want to not be scared of it.
Word.
Even though it's still it makes me want to respect it. Even if I still have a fear, it's a healthy fear. And it's a respect. But that hasn't happened yet. So, I do have a respect for the ocean, but it's still just something that, the thought of scuba diving. I did like a snuba thing, and it was like a large group, and like I think 30 feet was like the max you could go. You had like a hose that was connected to a tank.
Okay.
And it was clear water. You could see the bottom.
That's pretty cool. Okay.
And it was super fun, and I
Okay.
did feel safer doing that with like a large group of people.
Yeah.
But like, there's just a lot of stuff in the ocean that's capable of eating or killing.
Dude, even the like little tiny irukandji fucking jellyfish, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, those things are so tiny. And like one sting from that and you are fucked.
Dead.
Dude, you gotta go to a fucking hospital.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's if you make it to the hospital alive.
yeah.
And you still might not survive. And then there's like triggerfish. They got like these little fish that have these giant, like almost buck teeth. And apparently they'll rip your flesh off just like no problem. And then there's this crab, or like tiny little like shrimp like crab, and it's what is it called? But it has the ability to shoot a bullet of water.
Yeah, dude.
And like it travels so fast, it gets so hot that it's like insanely hot temperatures.
Dude, it will like break glass and shit.
Yeah, and it is this tiny little thing.
It's not a shotgun shrimp, but it's something like that.
Yeah,
right?
it's something like that. It's like a bullet shrimp or something along those lines. And yeah, it has this like special claw, and it just can shoot little bullets of. I think it's either air or water that they're shooting, and they reach incredibly hot temperatures and fast speeds, and dude, so much stuff. We haven't even talked about the sea lions and the
exactly,
like
squids and whales and
all of that.
Fuck, whales would be cool though, man.
Whales
would be cool.
It would, yeah. I would. I mean, I have a fascination with all of these things. I just, if I interact with them, when I build my pirate crew and I'm getting ready to sail, I need somebody that just like is already good with the ocean. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I need someone that's like, okay,
Anytime.
We got some whales here. This is how we navigate through that. Because I might be the captain, but I'm going to need some help from other more knowledgeable people to make, because I don't know.
Yeah, man.
And I don't want to get capsized. And,
oh, hell no, dude.
And the thing about the ocean, too, is even a regular fish or like a small, like, there's not a fish in the sea that I can swim faster than.
Nope.
Period. So then when it gets into the ones that can eat you in one bite, what? No, I'm not. I mean, I'll try to push its nose out of the way, but
you're in their world.
I'm in their world, which is basically space. It's crazy to me, like, I don't want to say the exact percentage, but like a very small percentage of the ocean has actually been explored.
Yeah.
Like incredibly small percentage. And that's wild to me. I feel like we keep finding new stuff and things we thought were gone. And
yeah, dude.
Like there's lakes inside of the ocean.
Yeah,
because they're like different density of salt.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
What?
that shit's fucking nuts. Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. And the ocean, I mean, that's like, it's also the biggest percentage of the world, and then like its tides are controlled by the moon, and it's probably one of the most important parts of the living organism of Earth.
100%.
It is the blood. It is the life flow. It's something. It's the lungs, at least.
That's a cool way to think about it. Yeah, exactly, right?
I never thought of it like that before, but the ocean is totally the lungs of Earth.
Man. That's rad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lungs with like giant animals that can eat you in it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yep.
But dude, I mean, This was a blast. Thank you so much for
Dude,
coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, is
This
that,
was awesome.
did you have one more question, or is that it?
Oh shit. Yeah. What's the last fucking badass book you read?
Ooh. You know, wait. I'm trying to remember the last badass book. I started the Lean Startup. And that was okay. It's just kind of like it's like kind of like an advice book. It's like a business book. It's this guy who is successful, but he has and still does practice what he calls the Lean Startup method. And that is operating within your means and not going into a lot of debt from the beginning. Always starting off as lean as possible and building from there. And that could look like, maybe you do have to take some money, but you're still not taking all the money.
Right.
You're not going for the final dream on the first night of rest. You're
just getting phase one.
You're getting phase one, and then you're building. And if you can build from there, then doing that was pretty badass. And it's been a while. I've read a couple comic books, One Piece manga, and
fuck yeah, man.
Those are sick. But
dude, I found the Nausicaa manga set.
Sick.
Yeah. Dude,
sick. I've not watched that one yet, but
man,
the animation looks really cool. But Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee. I read that a couple years ago.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've heard about that book. I've never read it.
It's the story of the Trail of Tears. Basically,
shit.
American settlers coming in, but it's the story from the natives. And it's incredibly sad. But it's also very knowledgeable and very eye-opening, really. It's hearing the perspective of some other people. And I've always had a heart for the natives. It always felt like we were in the wrong. Yeah. I always have, but then reading that book and just hearing the exact lies that they were told and the exact ways that they were treated, and the story from their side of whenever the Americans came in, decided to break their promises and kill a whole village, and the ones that were able to escape, and then where they went. And it's a sad book, but it is very good. I recommend anyone reading it, because the history is a thing that has been so modified, and how we're taught it in schools, and even through media. True history is oftentimes missed, or different perspectives. I'm not even saying that everything you learn is a lie. I'm saying that is one perspective at best. You know what I mean? Maybe it is the truth. It's still one perspective, and there's a whole another side to it.
Yeah.
And that is the side of the natives, the Trail of Tears. Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee.
Yeah.
And great book. And
dude.
Yeah, you should check it out.
Yeah, man.
How about you?
Dude, I just finished Snow Crash.
Oh.
It's by Neil Stevenson. I think that's the guy's name. Came out in the early mid-90s, and it's a book about a dystopian future.
Yeah.
Government is still there, but is basically not that powerful anymore.
Yeah.
So corporations have come in and bought up land. So, there's the area ruled by the Italian mob and the Chinese mob, and
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
It's fiction, but based in You could see it real world.
Exactly.
Real world fiction.
So,
I'm sure there's a better category name for that.
Yeah,
but...
no, straight up. No, I'm with you. Yeah. Yeah, it's about this one dude named Hero, and he's a hacker, but he also delivers pizza for the mafia.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much the story about this substance called snow crash.
Ooh.
So snow crash is what happens to your computer when it gets infected with a really bad virus and it kills it. So basically, it scrambles everything into the in the computer where signals usually go.
Yeah.
And what you're left with is just like static on your screen. So there's this like drug invented in this book called Snow Crash, and it can you take it. Oh yeah, duh. I haven't even explained this part. So there's a digital world that this guy Neil named the metaverse, which I think is funny.
That is hilarious.
And you hook in through goggles, which is
oh my god,
also
it's very
funny.
Black Mirror,
Dude, yeah.
like.
But it's also like literally, dude. People that work for Elon Musk, and probably Elon Musk himself has like read this book, and he was like, "Oh, okay, I'll just make this a reality." Like basically, like. Yeah.
Oh, so this came first.
Oh yeah. Oh, big time.
Dang,
Oh,
they totally copped.
I mean,
Also,
dude,
why
why
would you use that as the inspiration? Like, people are saying that you don't have good intentions, and then you use that as your inspiration.
Yeah,
brother.
Yeah,
should have called it heaven. Maybe people wouldn't be so dang sus,
dude. But within the metaverse, you're given what are called hypercards, which are basically QR codes.
Yeah.
And like that's another thing that this guy Neil talks about in his book. He literally describes QR codes before they were ever a fucking thing. Because if you think about it, what is a QR code? It's just a bunch of it's a grid, right?
Yeah, it's a bunch of dots.
Yeah, it's a bunch of dots. And what
Lines.
those dots, what those squares or those dots translate into are ones and zeros.
Yeah.
So the black ones are like one, or I guess it would be, black ones would be a one, and then the white ones would be a zero.
Yeah.
So an off circuit or on circuit, right? So really, a QR code is just a bunch of ones and zeros. It's just, they just make them black and white so that, they could be ones and zeros and your phone could scan it just like that.
Totally,
too,
but it makes it more
visually,
yeah,
exactly. In this dude's book, he talks about, he doesn't call them QR codes, but it's these little grids of ones and zeros that these people scan with their, per se, their cell phone or their device.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, definitely recommend this book.
What's it called again?
It's called Snow Crash.
Oh, it's named after.
And dude,
after the drug.
is
That's
literally
right. Yes.
from the moment it starts until the point it ends, it is nonstop. It is just, I mean, there's points where like days have passed and shit like that, but it does not give you a break.
Man.
Like,
also, I feel like Snow Crash sounds like a little bit of what's going on in the world as well. I probably have ran into a couple people going through a snow crash themselves, if you know what I mean. But no, I have to check that out.
But yeah, this Snow Crash is this drug, this digital drug, but not that when you scan or break the hypercard or the hyperlink card or whatever, it exactly. That's how you experience this drug. But in the book, it translates into your actual like physical reality as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting.
No, that sounds interesting.
It's a good book.
Dude, no, thank you again so much for coming on. It's been so great to talk to you. Exactly what I'm saying. This was a blast.
Fuck yeah, man.
Hell yeah. Peace.